We all wonder if there is life elsewhere in the universe.
All right, you tell me what it is.
Some people believe aliens have been watching Earth for thousands of years. They think things like the pyramids in Egypt and the Nazca Lines in Peru are proof of this. Some people believe ancient civilizations, like the Cydonians, once lived on Mars. There are pyramid-like structures and mounds that don't seem natural.
We have to ask ourselves, what civilization built this?
In this video, we'll talk about what we found about these aliens in the universe. Number 1. Flying disc. In March 2006, the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter started studying Mars. It has taken almost 7 million pictures. In 2021, someone noticed something interesting. 2 long lines with marks leading to what looks like a half-buried disk. The edge of this disk is perfectly shaped. George Haas from the Cydonia Institute explained the excitement. He thinks the object is 12 to 15 meters in diameter and might be a flying disk that crashed on Mars. People have been seeing signs of civilization on Mars since the famous face was found in a 1976 photo by Viking 1. Most of these images, including the face, turned out to be natural rock formations when we got better photos. But what about this new find? The clear circular edge is very noticeable. Could it be the back edge of a flying saucer? Could this be a meteor that fell from the sky? But the trail leading to this object on Mars doesn't look like that kind of impact. Some think it might be the heat shield from a probe that crashed on Mars. Number 2. The Turkey UFO footage. In June 2007, in Kumburgaz, a town near Istanbul, Turkey, a night guard named Yalçın Yalman saw a strange object hovering over the Sea of Marmara. He used a video camera to record it. Between 2007 and 2009, these strange crafts appeared several times, allowing Yalman to capture hours of video and many photos of what he described as an otherworldly craft. These recordings gained significant attention due to their weird details. Experts who examined one of Yalman's videos found it clearly showed a disc-shaped aircraft. Using high-tech imaging equipment, they analyzed the footage frame by frame, focusing on the cockpit, where a figure with an elongated head and large black eyes, resembling typical descriptions of aliens, could be seen. Turkey's National Council for the Study of Science and Technology, along with film professors, special effects companies, and video specialists, analyzed the footage and found no evidence of manipulation, concluding it was real. Yalman's UFO footage remains one of the most compelling examples of a spacecraft and an alien being captured on camera. Number 3. The McMinnville UFO photographs. In May 1950, farmers Paul and Evelyn Trent from McMinnville, Oregon, captured 2 black and white photos of a large metallic disc-shaped object. The local newspaper published the photos, and they eventually gained national attention. The U.S. Air Force and other investigators examined the photos but found them difficult to debunk. A 1967 UFO study by nuclear physicist Edward U. Condon acknowledged the difficulty in explaining the photos and recognized their authenticity. Today, McMinnville hosts an annual celebration to commemorate the sighting, which remains one of the most credible UFO incidents. Number 4. Gulf Breeze sightings. The Gulf Breeze sightings, occurring between 1987 and 1988 in Gulf Breeze, Florida, involve a series of photographs taken by Ed Walters, a building contractor. Walters claimed to have seen a hovering saucer-shaped object with windows and took several Polaroid photos of it. He also reported encounters with aliens, describing telepathic communication and incidents involving a blue beam of light that lifted and immobilized him. Despite passing a polygraph test and gaining some support from organizations like the Mutual UFO Network and the Center for UFO Studies, the authenticity of Walters' photos remains disputed. In 1990, a styrofoam model of a UFO, similar to the one in Walters' photos, was found in his former home, casting further doubt on his claims. Nevertheless, the Gulf Breeze sightings sparked numerous investigations, making them one of the most controversial UFO incidents in modern U.S. history. Number 5. Buildings on Mars. For nearly 50 years, NASA has been sending satellites to Mars to photograph its surface. Strange images have been captured on Mars since we began sending probes, including shapes resembling a floating spoon, a statue, and the famous face. In the spring of 2020, an amateur astronomer claimed the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter photographed something unusual: a group of buildings and pyramids, including one shaped like an eagle's head. George Haas, director of the esoteric Cydonians Institute, believes this could be evidence of an ancient civilization. He points to a four-sided pyramid with a conjoined mound at the top, similar to the Pyramid of the Moon in Teotihuacan, Mexico. Forensic investigator Chase Klutsky notes that there is physical and scientific evidence of water on Mars, which could have supported civilization. One theory suggests that Martians lost it all by nuclear war, citing atmospheric traces of xenon-129, a signature of artificial nuclear explosions. What if that's true, and this could end up being the truth for Earth soon as well? Number 6. The Phoenix Lights Incident. On March 13, 1997, thousands of people in Phoenix, Arizona, saw a massive V-shaped craft with 5 lights. Reports came in from various locations describing a large, singular object moving slowly through the sky. Many photographs and videos were taken, making it a widely witnessed UFO sighting. The U.S. Air Force later claimed that the lights were flares dropped by aircraft during a training exercise. However, many witnesses, including then-Governor Fife Symington, insisted that what they saw was otherworldly. The Phoenix Lights incident remains one of the most widely witnessed and compelling UFO sightings in history. Number 7. The Calvine Photo. In August 1990, 2 hikers in Calvine, Scotland, took 6 photos of a diamond-shaped metallic object hovering in broad daylight. The photos, which showed a fighter jet in the background, were submitted to Scotland's Daily Record newspaper, but ended up lost in the Ministry of Defence's files. The public was unaware of their existence for 30 years. In 2022, journalist David Clark managed to recover one of the original photos. The image is now scrutinized by both skeptics and enthusiasts. Some suggest it was a top-secret U.S. aircraft. However, the Calvine photo remains one of the clearest and most intriguing UFO images ever taken. Number 8. Bird-like object on Mars. In March 2021, NASA's Perseverance rover captured a panorama on Mars, sparking questions about the presence of birds on the red planet. A bizarre object in the image appears suspended above the surface, resembling a bird in flight. Percival Lowell, an astronomer who studied Mars for 15 years, once believed he saw irrigation canals built by intelligent life. Although later missions disproved this theory, he was partly right. NASA's Phoenix Mars lander found ice under the Martian surface in 2008. NASA geologist Bob Anderson confirms the image is genuine, noting the yellow Martian sky. But what is the object? Anderson suggests it could be a piece of insulation or coating from Perseverance, dislodged during its landing. While there's no definitive proof of flying birds on Mars, the mystery remains. Number 9. Ancient structure in Antarctica. In July 2018, journalist Linda Moulton Howe interviewed a retired Navy SEAL known as Spartan 1. He claimed to have visited an ancient structure in Antarctica. According to Spartan 1, this structure was large and octagonal, with thick doors that were easy to open. Inside, it was warm and lit up, with walls covered in hieroglyphics. This has led some to believe that there might be advanced extraterrestrial structures buried under the ice in Antarctica. These structures could potentially hold biological material and remains of beings from a long-lost past. Number 10. Operation High Jump. Operation High Jump, led by Admiral Richard Byrd in 1946, was the largest expedition to Antarctica ever. It involved a massive military convoy. Over the years, stories have emerged about a mysterious battle in Antarctica during this operation. Some believe it involved remnants of the Third Reich and extraterrestrials. Admiral Byrd reported encountering a new enemy capable of flying from pole to pole. In 2018, a satellite image showed a contrail stretching the entire length of the Earth, suggesting an object traveling at incredibly high speeds. This has fueled more speculation about what really happened during Operation High Jump. Number 11. Fresno Nightcrawler, 2010. In 2010, a man named Jose in Fresno, California, captured something strange on his front lawn using CCTV. The footage showed pale, slender creatures that moved as if they were crawling. These creatures, now known as the Fresno Nightcrawlers, have since been spotted by others in the area. Whether they are aliens, cryptids, or part of a hoax, they remain a creepy mystery. The way they move, almost like a pair of walking pants, adds to their eerie appearance and makes people wonder if aliens could really look like this. Number 12. The Glasgow Glower, 2021. In 2021, two strange sightings occurred in Glasgow. A student took a photo of a strange glow in the night sky, while a local woman captured a static, almost humanoid shape flying across the sky. The timing and location of these sightings are suspiciously close, suggesting they might be related. The eerie glow and the humanoid figure have left people wondering if they witnessed the same phenomenon or different events. Number 13. Guadalcanal, underwater alien base. The Solomon Islands, found east of Papua New Guinea, are a cluster of nearly 1,000 islands spread across 11,000 square miles. These islands were first discovered back in 1568 by Spanish explorers. They're famous for their connection to World War II, particularly the intense battles fought on Guadalcanal, the largest island. In 1998, workers in the gold mining industry on Guadalcanal made a startling discovery. They found giant footprints next to a bulldozer blade that had been moved, suggesting the presence of these legendary giants. Solomon Islands Mysteries, a book by Marius Boireon, who used to work as a helicopter engineer on the islands, delves into these giant legends and their possible connection to UFO sightings. Boireon suggests that there may be a UFO base hidden in the central mountains of Guadalcanal, along with other bases underwater. Many witnesses claim to have seen UFOs rising from the ocean and then disappearing into remote mountain lakes. Some fishermen even claim to have felt the heat from these mysterious objects. The connection between the tales of giants and the sightings of UFOs raises intriguing questions about the possibility of an underwater alien base somewhere in the waters around Guadalcanal. According to some ancient astronaut theorists, stories of giants and other mythical creatures like the Adaro, a hybrid creature with the upper body of a human and the lower body of a fish, might have extraterrestrial origins. Legend has it that Adaro come from the sun, traveling via rainbows, and can be quite dangerous. Some believe these beings could be aliens in disguise, guarding secret bases. Considering that the Solomon Islands are situated on the Ring of Fire, a region known for its geological activity, it's possible that the area's energy-rich environment might attract such otherworldly beings. Number 14. Mexico Alien Incident. On May 3, 1975, pilot Carlos de los Santos had a harrowing experience while flying back to Mexico City in his Piper PA-24 Comanche. About an hour into the flight, Carlos noticed something strange, a gray, wingless object off the left side of his plane. As he continued, he saw a small flying saucer hovering just above his left wing. The size of the object was comparable to his relatively small aircraft. To his shock, he then spotted another object on his right and one more ahead of him. As Carlos approached Mexico City, one of the objects went below his aircraft, causing a noticeable bump, and suddenly, he realized he was losing control of his plane. The yoke began moving on its own, and the aircraft started climbing rapidly, reaching altitudes close to its maximum capability. This posed a grave risk of stalling and potentially plummeting from the sky. In a state of panic, Carlos issued Mayday calls, urgently reporting the presence of unidentified objects at his wingtips and below him. As his plane raced towards a mountainous area, the three unidentified aerial phenomena, UAPs, suddenly disengaged and veered off towards the Popocatépetl volcano at astonishing speed. Though Carlos regained control of the plane, his ordeal wasn't over. He found that he couldn't lower his landing gear due to the impact of the objects. Despite this challenge, he circled the airport approximately 10 times, using a screwdriver to manually lower the landing gear. Through sheer determination and skill, he managed to land the aircraft safely. Remarkably, Mexican air traffic control had also tracked these mysterious objects, confirming Carlos's account. His story quickly became a major news event in Mexico. However, it wasn't without its share of complications. Carlos later revealed that he had been approached by mysterious figures twice, warning him not to speak about his experience. Despite these threats, he eventually shared his story, which continues to be one of the most extraordinary aviation encounters involving unidentified aerial phenomena. Number 15, the Salford Gray, 2015. In the United Kingdom, Yorkshire has reported over 200 alien and UFO sightings in the last 20 years. While much of this footage isn't readily available, nearby Salford has a compelling video of a gray alien wandering around. Grays are the most commonly reported type of alien in alleged abductions. Whether this footage is a hoax or real, it has certainly fueled speculation and interest in alien encounters in the UK. Number 16, the Roswell Incident, 1947. The Roswell Incident is one of the most enduring and debated stories of alleged extraterrestrial encounters. It revolves around an event that occurred in the summer of 1947 near Roswell, New Mexico. What started as a local news story quickly escalated into one of the most famous and controversial UFO-related incidents in history. On July 8, 1947, the Roswell Army Airfield, RAAF, issued a press release stating that they had recovered a flying disc from a ranch near Roswell. This announcement came after rancher W.W. Mac Brazel reported finding unusual debris scattered across his property. The debris included metallic sticks, foil-like material, and lightweight, tough fabric. The initial press release caused a sensation, with many newspapers across the country reporting on the recovery of a flying saucer. However, the story took a dramatic turn when the military quickly retracted their statement. The following day, the RAAF issued another press release claiming that the recovered debris was actually from a weather balloon. The US military's explanation was that the debris was part of a top-secret project known as Project Mogul. Project Mogul involved high-altitude balloons equipped with microphones to detect sound waves generated by Soviet atomic bomb tests. According to the military, the materials found by Brazel were components of one of these balloons. For several decades, the Roswell incident faded into relative obscurity. However, in the late 1970s, interest in the event was rekindled by UFO researchers and conspiracy theorists. Books, documentaries, and television programs began to explore the possibility that the weather balloon story was a cover-up for something more extraordinary. One of the most sensational claims emerged in the 1980s and 1990s, suggesting that the US military had recovered not just the wreckage of an alien spacecraft, but also the bodies of extraterrestrial beings. Various individuals, including former military personnel, came forward with stories of secret government facilities and autopsies performed on alien corpses. In response to the growing speculation and public interest, the U.S. Government Accountability Office, GAO, conducted an investigation in the mid-1990s. The results, published in a report titled The Roswell Report, Fact versus Fiction in the New Mexico Desert, reiterated the Project Mogul explanation. Additionally, a second report, the Roswell Report, Case Closed, addressed the claims of alien bodies, suggesting that these were likely misidentified military test dummies. Number 17. The Betty and Barney Hill Abduction, 1961. The Betty and Barney Hill abduction case is one of the most famous and well-documented instances of alleged alien abduction. It involved Betty and Barney Hill, an American couple from Portsmouth, New Hampshire. On the night of September 19, 1961, Betty and Barney Hill were driving back to Portsmouth from a vacation around 10:30 p.m. They observed a bright light in the sky that seemed to be following them. As they drove along a rural stretch of Route 3 near Lancaster, New Hampshire, the light grew larger and closer. Barney stopped the car to get a closer look with his binoculars. He saw what he described as a large, pancake-shaped craft with rows of windows. Inside, he claimed to see humanoid figures looking at him. Frightened, Barney quickly returned to the car and they drove off at high speed. As they continued their journey, the Hills experienced a period of missing time. They arrived home 2 hours later than expected, with no recollection of what had occurred during that time. Both Betty and Barney felt uneasy and experienced strange sensations and impulses they could not explain. In the weeks following the incident, Betty began having vivid dreams about being taken aboard a spacecraft and subjected to medical examinations. Disturbed by these dreams and their shared sense of unease, the Hills sought help from Dr. Benjamin Simon, a psychiatrist and neurologist specializing in hypnosis. Under hypnosis, both Betty and Barney separately recounted similar stories of being taken aboard a spacecraft by small, gray-skinned beings with large eyes. They described undergoing medical examinations and having conversations with the beings, who communicate telepathically. Betty recalled being shown a star map by one of the beings, which she later reproduced under hypnosis. This map became a key piece of evidence for UFO enthusiasts who believed it represented a real stellar system. Several investigations were conducted into the Hills' claims. While skeptics argued that their story could be attributed to stress, sleep paralysis, or confabulation, the creation of false memories, others believed their accounts were genuine. The Hills were regarded as credible witnesses, and their detailed descriptions added a level of authenticity to their story. And that was all for today, everyone. I guess aliens do exist, and these creatures often visit the Earth as well. But I wonder if the theory about the lost civilization on Mars is actually true. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. I hope you liked the video. See you in the next one. Goodbye.